Hey everybody, listen, I wanted to share something that's very near and dear to my heart with you, and something that I hope will help some of you out there in the world of raising kids and raising families. You see, I have a kindergartner right now. He just started last week, so we're a week into this. I have a first grader who went through kindergarten last year, obviously, and so I wanted to share with you just some ways that we are helping him in this time of transition, because it is challenging for him. He's gone all day long now, and that's the first time for him. He's in a new world with a new discipline system and new influences in his life, and so we want to do this the very best that we possibly can. And my guess is many of you want to do this whole kindergarten K-5 transition the very best that you possibly can too. And so I want to just share with you a couple things, a couple activities, a couple ways that we're finding has helped our kids. So the first one is give them some individual attention. You see, I think that oftentimes our kids go from being, in my case, one of four, or they're one of two, or they're the only one, to being one of 15, or one of 17, or one of 12. And so it can be very difficult when they're used to being kind of the center of attention, or getting more and more attention. When they get home, they need some attention. So do something fun with them. Do something that is just for them. After the first day, I took mine to eat at a restaurant of his choice, just so that it was just me and him, and so he could have some time to tell me about his day, and so we could talk about how this is a new phase and a new time in life. And so I encourage you to do that. Find something that he loves or she loves, and do it well with them. Put your phone away, turn off the TV, and just give them some undivided, individual attention, because they need that. Speak affirming words to them. Tell them how much you love them. If they do something well, then you tell them a gazillion times how much and how proud you are of them. Tell them that was a great accomplishment, because they need to hear those affirming words from you, the parent, from you, the grandparents, from you, their leaders in their lives. So speak that truth into them, into their lives. Another thing that we found is that our kids really function well, and they function better by having a routine. So getting up around the same time, kind of having the same plan in the mornings for what they're going to do, taking the same routes to school, picking them up at the same times, having the same things at the same bedtimes. So it just really helps them to adapt and to adjust to something that's a whole new world for them. And inside of that routine, I would encourage you to make sure that they get plenty of rest. Now think about that teacher who's got 15 other kindergartners in her class, and they, instead of getting the 10 hours of sleep that they need, they get 7 hours or 8 hours, which is fine for you and fine for me. But they need 10 to 12 hours of sleep. And so in order to keep them from being grumpy, in order to keep them from doing things that they aren't supposed to, make sure that as part of that routine, you have a consistent bedtime in which they are learning that this is when we go to bed, this is our routine, and they're getting the proper amount of rest. It's so vital. It's so important for them in this time of transition, because they're in a classroom now. They're not at home. They're not even in daycare where they're playing a lot. They are in a classroom setting now. And so we need to provide the opportunity for them to rest. So do something individual. Give them some specific instruction. What that does for them is that says that you matter, that I care about you, that your emotions, your opinions, who you are, it matters to me as your parent. Have a routine. Get some good sleep for them. And then one of the things that we do for our kids is we have some places that they're involved where it's not just me that gives them some attention. They're playing soccer, or maybe it's karate for you, or it's a Lego club, or whatever it is that they do well. Find those places that they can expend some energy and have other adults who invest in them. We go to church, and so our kids are invested in by our church family. Find those people in those places who will invest in them and who will invest well. And I would also encourage you, talk about your struggles with this. Tell them how you're dealing with this and how God's helping you get through this new transition for them, because it stretches their faith to hear how you're being impacted and what you're doing. Remember, you have 676 weeks until they graduate. Make the most of your time. Put your phone away, the TV away, social media away, and invest in your son and your daughter, because before you know it, they will be graduating. They'll be walking across that stage. And so make the most of your time that God's given you with your kids.